Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Love you guys and thanks for coming on over today to see what I'm creating in my craft room. I am going to play with oil pastels again. I took them out of the little container here and I put them in this, and I just covered up the lid. But they're all in here now. They have a little home outside of this because I don't always want to take this thing with me if I'm going to be doing my oil pastels. One of the thing about oil pastels that is a bonus, you can take them wherever. They don't have to be they don't have to be precious. You don't have to take care of them in little pans, or I mean, they can just be in this little doodad and you can take it with you wherever you go. And they're, yeah, no special equipment required for these, just drawing. And I'm also going to do a little practice in my sketchbook. It's something that I've been seeing a lot of lately, just in some of the videos I'm perusing, the practice of sketching every day. I don't do it every day, but I do have a sketchbook. I have several of them in different ways that I can work on my drawing, because I'm no pro at it by any means. But I thought I'd do a little sketch and then I'd do the oil pastels as the color. So that's kind of what I was doing. Oh, let me show you so far what I've worked on in this book. So I have this picture that is a lovely scene of a riverside type of thing. So I've been playing with this, with my oil pastels, and trying to recreate it. And I've got a lot to learn. I'll be the first to tell you that. But one thing I noticed about it's like, how do I get this mirror image? How do I look at this and say, what color is that? I flipped it upside down the other day and went, that is gray. That's all gray right there. So I've got yellows in here, and now I'm not exactly sure what to do now that I've got all this yellow in here. So I'm working on it. You know, the thing about layering, about oil pastels is layer on layer on layer, and it never dries. I mean, you can put fixative on it and it'll stay, but it really doesn't dry unless you do that. So you can keep adding to it. So that's a plus I found out about this type of medium. It's also playing with the instinctively just kind of getting them out and seeing what happened otherwise. So made a tulip, did some blending. And the person that I've looked at that had the best tutorial on how to use these was Lindsay The Frugal Crafter. And she showed some really interesting techniques and easy techniques. So I was happy to find that with her. So I'm gonna open my sketchbook up to this page. I'm almost done with the sketchbook. I mean, as far as, I'll give you a quick, don't judge. That's what's in here. So that's what's in here. Not a lot, but I thought I'd take my birds and blooms and do this little picture right here and see how it goes. I need to move. How do I do this? I want to draw on this side, but I don't want to cover up my hand. So how does that go? How does that look? I just got some dumb little pencils and eraser and stuff. And then I'll do the sketch first as best I can. So it's just a butterfly on a zinnia, some sort of butterfly. It is a great spangled fritillary on a zinnia. A fritillary. That's just more fun to say than a butterfly. Fritillary. So I'm going to just go and see what happens. This is a little sharper. I do have some blending tools alongside me, and some other, excuse me, some other things that I have as well. And this book needs to lay flat. So what are you guys all doing today? What's happening in your creative artrinsic journey? Are you a person who practices sketching every day, or what kind of things do you do? Is there something that you feel like makes your day better as you become creative? What does that look like for you? I just don't know, because everybody's different. One thing I love about drawing flowers is the petals, you don't need to be exact. And I know that there's artists out there who can make something look completely the same as a picture. But to me, I'm like, well, why don't you just take the picture with the camera and just call it good? Why recreate it with paints and such? Because it's already there. Why? That's just me. Okay, so let's see. We've got this fritillary on here. I've never drawn a fritillary. That's not true. Everybody's drawn a butterfly of some sort at some point in their life. Just get the basic shapes, right? Okay. And the two wings, one is pointed and one is rounded-ish. And then you've got the back of the body right about there. And then I've got a leg up here. And then let's add some more petals and fill in. Somebody I like to watch draw flowers is Alisa Burke. She has some beautiful, whimsical flowers that are fun to emulate. Sometimes I try to work like she does. She uses black and white, but then she also does a lot of color as well. So, and she is very loose in her creating, and so that's one of the reasons why I like to watch her. Alisa Burke. She's out of the Northwest. She lives on the coast in Oregon. I don't know exactly where, but okay, not so bad so far. And with sketching, they tell you to not go too slow. You can always add in detail later. Oh, I've got veins I need to pay attention to here. So fun. I don't do this very often, and I really want to get back into the practice of doing some sketching a day, just to work on my drawing skills. I'm not confident in that, but I have friends who can do that. I have artist friends here in this little town of Laramie that is what they do. And one of them does landscapes, and another one just all kinds of different arts. It's interesting how there's white on this side of the wing and then black on this side of the wing. Isn't that interesting? I've got glare, I see. And the line's going this way. I'm just going to do some whimsical lines. Almost looks like a zebra or tiger stripes. Okay. And we've got stripes that go up and through here. So not too shabby. Okay, so that's what I'm going to call the leaf I've got going the wrong way, but I don't care. All right, so now that's the basic sketch. So, okay, that's the basic sketch. Similar. Now, if I can do colors, let's see if I can zoom you in just a little more, get a closer look at what is happening. I'm not sure what kind of paper this is. It's just sketchbook paper. So, I mean, this isn't necessarily going to be the best paper for these. But again, I'm just experimenting. Okay, so I've also brought out some, I put Gamsol in here. Gamsol is a, let me get the jar. It's a color, it's an oil. It thins oil colors and painting mediums so that you can blend. It's a blending type of solution. And it's some sort of an oil. Mineral, 100% mineral spirits, odorless mineral spirits. Okay, so this is what they recommend. I don't know, I'm putting it in here with a cotton ball. And here's my blending tools. And also one thing that Lindsay from the Frugal Crafter, she added colored pencils with her drawing too. So I've got that. This set has these color bars in it as well. And they're Royal Langnickel. And I think I got this in a, where did I get this at? I think it was like a garage sale or something. Then I also have some Sargent colored pencils, just really basic ones. So I want to try these first, and let's go with a pink. I'm going to blend in some pink. Oh, one thing they showed for doing oil pastels is kind of doing the not pushing down hard, but just kind of giving it a, especially the first layer, just lots of a lot of white space almost. And then you're going to layer it in with other things, other colors to give it depth. And now my pencil's going to bleed in this, so that's all right. That is all right. And already I'm seeing too much red, but I am going to go with it. I'm going to see what happens. The pencil lines are getting very much obscured in here already. So go in and maybe define some of those. Well, okay. And I'll do the yellow last. Let me just do the green. I gotta set on this and think about it for a second. And the green is, yes, the dark green right here. Stippling like this is something else that they talk about too when you're doing oil pastels. And it just helps to blend, you know, it gives you different ways to blend. Another thing with oil pastels I've learned is that they are, you can't erase. So it's a little bit tricky if you make a mistake and you're not happy about it. You can't get really pointy tips on these unless you really, really try. You have to get a knife out or something like that. Okay. Sometimes you can scratch it a little, but it just doesn't, it's just going to be there. So you just kind of got to live with it. And then we've got the color of the butterfly. So how do I do that? Do the brown? Let's see, I've got, maybe I'll go with the light peach first. Just kind of push in some color just to start it, get it started. There, and then get this. I'll absolutely do the black last. Kind of going in a linear motion here. And I want to do some of this too, just to, since the stripes are going that way. And there's going to be black too. You need to be careful with the black because it's not sharp. When I'm finished with this, I'll have to add the fixative just to make sure that it doesn't bleed or smudge the colors away. Get some definition here on some of these lines. Get this vein, get that little vein right there. And then the edge. Ooh, that's tricky. And then the body is this kind of color. Definitely kind of a stipple effect on him because he's fuzzy. And do a little brown in here because there's some sort of right in there. Okay, I'm losing the white dots. Now I don't think I can go in there with white and give the white because I've smudged it in already. So, but one thing with the white too, you can use it to blend. This is the medium my dad chose to use when he did art. And he's not around anymore to ask him questions about it. But like I was saying, one of the artists in my circle of people here in this little town of Laramie, he does art. He does oil pastels as one of his mediums. He does watercolor and all kinds of other things too. His name is Joe Arnold, if you want to look up some of his stuff. His wife's an artist. His daughter, their daughter's an artist of sorts. Yeah, a very talented family. And then I also have a friend named Bob Seabeck, who is he's an artist by trade. That's what he does. And he can do just about anything. And then I'm going to pop this little yellow thing in here. Let's get yellowy, more yellow. And then there was a yellow dot on here. Let me just add some yellow to some of these ends. Just gives another highlight of color, another layer of color in this. Okay, now I'm going to take the idea that Lindsay said and use some colored pencils in here. Ooh, that kind of blends it in, doesn't it? And then it adds more. Can I use this to define the lines a little better? When I am pushing on that makes me a little concerned here. Let's put some paper here. Oh, I can also use red. I don't have a red in here. I can use a red from another Okay. Let's see. I'm going to find the red from here. That's more of a few magenta. This says red. Do I want red though? Do I want magenta? I think I want the red. Yeah, red works a little better. Can you really see the difference though? I guess that's one way with the colored pencils to get the lines a little more defined when you're using oil pastels. Okay, that helps a little bit. Let's get around that little tiny. That's what the guy's going for, isn't it? Oh, that gives it so much definition right there. I like that. Adding a little bit of orange there with the colored pencil on the wax. So this is just a play. I don't know if this is interesting to you or not. I hope it is. I mean, it's just something I'm doing in my room here. Not too shabby. Oh yeah, that straightens up lines nicely, doesn't it? Cleans them right up. And then blends them in. I didn't even need to use my gum saw. But just for fun, since I got it out, let's add, let's get a little on here and see what we can do to blend. And these are another thing that you keep sharp with, like a sand block. You just do you can just scrub off the nib of extra color if you need, or if it gets dull, and you can sharpen it a little bit that way. But you can't get rid of what you put there already. Okay. Okay, the leaves, you know, petals lack a little bit of definition, but that's just me needing to learn more about how to shade and such like that with these colors. I think if I spent more time using the different shades of this, I would be able to get the depth that this has. See how much darker it is right there, and I've got little lines that I haven't even touched on. You know, this is a dark right here and this is lighter. So, you know, again, this is just a sketch. This is kind of an exercise that I want to try to keep more mindful of. Let me date it too. It is the 30th, and by the time you guys see this, it'll be June. But it's a little sketch practice, so I kind of like it. I don't hate it. I've done better things in my life, but I've enjoyed the little process. Okay, I have a fixative that I will open the window and spray this with off camera. So that's all I was doing today. Just a little play before I had to do some other stuff in my life today. So, all right, guys, that's it. Love you. Thanks for sticking around and watching me just experiment with these new little tools I have. So take care, you guys. Love you. And as always, God bless. Bye-bye.